Welcome back to the Empire Builders podcast. I'm Dave Young. Steve Semple's here, and we're going to talk about another empire.
Another one.
And
Imagine
it's
that.
another one of these big boxes.
Yes.
So this is brick and mortar big box store, and um, so there's two things I one thing I love, one thing I hate about big box stores in this category. I used to love going down to my local hardware store and just kind of tooling around,
Yeah.
and I guess you can still do that. Um, but there's something about some old guy walking up and chatting with you about what you could maybe buy or not.
Yeah.
And so Lowe's is our subject today.
Yes.
I'm interested to see how they started, and like it's again, I love shopping at Lowe's. I hate shopping at Lowe's for two
Yeah.
different reasons, right? The
Yeah.
variety, it's all there.
Yes.
Um, the 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 old guy that knows every piece of hardware in the store, good luck finding that I mean, they may be there, they may not. It's hit and miss.
Yes. So the first Lowe's, of course, started as one of those old-timey
Sure.
hardware stores. It was a 3,000-foot store in 1921
Mm.
in North Wilkesboro in North Carolina by Lucius Smith Lowe. That's basically the first
Lucius
Lowe's
Smith
was
Lowe.
way back in
Okay.
1921. But the success of Lowe's actually did not come from Lowe, but rather an in-law named Carl Buchan, who came on the scene in 1943. So
Okay.
when Lucius died in 1940, the business was inherited by his daughter, Ruth Buchan, who then now I was not able to find the family story on this because I find this interesting. It was inherited by the daughter who then sold the company to her brother. And I always thought, why'd the brother not inherit the
Right?
business? Now, I also get why she probably sold it because as we know, one of the really big problems, especially back in the 1940s, is women couldn't get credit. And it was
Mm.
very, very, very hard in the 40s for a woman to actually run a business. So I also
Yeah,
understand why she
so
sold it.
yeah, then and weird estate planning goes on that you don't know why they did what they did, right? Maybe the son had an insurance policy, right?
Who know
I
who
don't
knows?
know, but maybe he
Who
got
knows?
who knows?
Now, at the same time, when she sold it to her brother, her husband,
Mhm.
Carl, ended up becoming a partner in the business. So, it was this
Okay.
really weird father dies, it goes
So,
to
yeah.
the daughter sells it to the brother, and the husband ends up becoming a partner.
Who knows about the transactions inside family businesses, right? That's a
Right? All I'm just saying is, if it sounds weird, it was.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But moving forward, what's really incredible is today, Lowe's is like 1,700 locations doing 80 billion in sales.
That's
So
not
it has
nothing. Yeah.
that's not nothing. That's not nothing. But back in the early 40s, hardware stores did not have building supplies. Like, they didn't have plywood,
Yeah, yeah.
they didn't have building supplies. They
You
were
went across to the lumberyard to get that stuff.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. And so one day, Carl gets this deal on toilets, and he decides to buy a whole pile of toilets. Like when I say a whole pile, the whole truckload, which was 400
Okay.
toilets. And James Lowe comes in the office one day and there's like toilets in the office. And he says, Carl, why is there toilets in the office? He goes, well, I bought 400 of them and I ran out of space. So they're sitting in here. And he's like, we don't sell toilets. He goes, well, we are now because we got
Yeah, we
400
sell
of them.
toilets. Sell
They're
them or
here
else.
now. So, yes, we are. And what turns out is that they sell out really quickly. And Carl looks into this a little bit more and he sees this trend, right? Like, think about it. 1946, what's happening in the United States? There's a building boom, right? Like, the number of homes being built has grown 10 times over the last 3 years because we got the baby boom happening. We got the
Mhm.
return of the soldiers. We got the baby boom. We got the sprouting up the suburbs. It is that part is growing. So they sell out these toilets in like a week. And so he wants to open a second store. He goes, look, here's what I want to do. I want to open a second store and we're going to sell everything for building and fixing a home.
Mhm.
Everything. We're going to turn specialty stores into one shop. So in other words, you don't have to go to the plumber. Look, this is another variation on the department store and the convenience store.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So Lowe agrees, and they invest $160,000 in the second store, and it's a 10,000 square foot. So they've gone from 3,000 square feet to a 10,000 square foot store in Spartan, North Carolina.
And so, yeah, we tripled the size. It's all the space we'll ever need.
Right. So
10,000
it's
feet.
1949, and literally customers are coming. Yeah, that's right. It's 10,000 square feet. So I missed that for a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Hold that thought.
Hang on.
Hold that thought. So it's so popular, they're actually finding customers are coming from states away, like from outside of North Carolina. So Carl wants to open a 3rd store and Lowe doesn't want to. He doesn't wanna grow this thing.
Isn't it amazing that the whole company's not called Carl's instead of Lowe's?
Well, here's what ends up happening. Lowe says, "Look, I don't wanna do this. Why don't you just buy me out?" Carl buys out Lowe, but says,
Keeps the
"But
name.
let's keep the name.
Yeah.
Let's keep the name."
Yeah, that's smart. I mean,
So
you've got equity there.
yeah. So in 1952, Lowe is bought out, but they keep the name. And it expands rapidly. Like they quickly open 13 more stores.
Oh,
So
wow. See, I did not
it's
know
like
they were
growing like
this
crazy.
old.
Yeah. So it starts growing like crazy, but then they hit a problem. After 6 years, profit stall,
Oh,
right?
okay.
What he notices is he's been focusing on opening stores, but not focusing on the buying experience. And if you went into a Lowe's at that time, it was super disorganized. Stuff was just all over the place.
Okay.
And so it was not appealing. So he hires Bob Strickland, marketing guy. Bob points out that people come in to get what they need, but what if we were able to make them to stay and buy other things? Like instead
Mhm.
of an oven, how about a whole kitchen?
Sure.
So so he says, let's be like a department store. So they looked at how Sears was laid out, right? How there
Mhm.
was these departments.
Yeah.
And basically, this is the model that they created, which is really the template that all these big box home improvement stores are built on. Here's the appliance section, here's the
Yeah.
flooring section, but it not just didn't just have flooring, it had okay, along with the flooring, the caulking and the this and like
Yeah.
all the things that you need with it.
So take those toilets out of the power tool section and put them where they belong. Yeah.
Yeah. So they create this template that they're gonna roll out, and before they're ready to roll it out, Buckin passes away. And so
Oh,
now it's
no.
up to Strickland to open with the new idea. So Strickland takes the ideas, he opens 5 stores on it, they're super successful. In 2 decades, they got 180 stores, 1978, they're the largest in the region. 1979, they're 200 stores, and they just grow and grow and grow and become what they are today. But Lowe's basically built this idea. The 2 innovations Lowe's did was built this idea of we should have a store that's dedicated to home improvement because
Uh-huh.
they saw the trend on it. And then they created this whole idea of looking at department stores and saying, this is how a home improvement store should be
Yeah.
organized. That idea that every one of these big box home improvement stores is built on was created by Lowe's.
Stay tuned. We're going to wrap up this story and tell you how to apply this lesson to your business right after this.
Hey.
What?
Shh. Steven created something new.
That's not surprising. Why are you being so quiet?
Well, not very many people know.
Really?
Yes, it's new and it's amazing.
Like tail wagging amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me.
Using storiestosell.com.
Okay.
It's a new free 90-minute session
Why?
because people have a hard time figuring out how to tell their business story.
Yeah, and?
This leverages Steven's TEDx talk on the 4 ingredients for telling a compelling story.
It's a great talk for sure, but how can...
Don't worry. You'll get help figuring out your story quickly, and you'll have one you can use right away. You'll even learn where to use it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, you can sign up at usingstoriestosell.com.
Wait, isn't our tea time coming up?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Your way, Dave.
Let's pick up our story where we left off, and trust me, you haven't missed a thing.
That idea that every one of these big box home improvement stores is built on was created by Lowe's.
Well, and so the reason I didn't know about them when I was younger is that they started in the East and
Yeah.
slowly moved west.
Yes.
And I don't know where Home Depot started, but there were in the Rocky Mountain West and Western Plains, there were Home Depot stores long before there were any Lowe's stores.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a matter of growth at that point then, right? They
Right.
figured out the formula.
They figured out the formula, and then it's
I'm
just grow,
guessing
grow, grow.
that yeah, Home Depot probably has a similar story. Either they copied Lowe's or they figured it out themselves that this is the right way to do a big box home
Well,
improvement store.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna
we're
say
gonna
too
do
much
that one
'cause
sometime?
we are gonna do that one.
Okay, alright, I'll hold that for another
Well,
day, but
what ends up often happening when I'm researching these things, there's no way to do it without learning about both, so often
uh-huh,
that's the reason
sure,
why when we're doing these, there will be 2 in a
mhm,
category because you learn about both of them at the same time because
and
they have kind of a shared history,
well,
right?
and those guys absolutely copy each other, right?
They did.
We go back I don't know what episode it was, but we talked about Cabela's, and then we sort of told the story of them being eventually bought by Bass Pro, and the guys that
Right.
built Bass Pro, I think well, at least according to the people that I knew at Cabela's, they were the first ones to build this giant experiential store,
Well, in Sam
right? And
Walton
so but that gets copied, and Sam Walton, same thing,
well,
right?
Sam Walton has openly stated that he stole a lot of his ideas from Saul Price. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he has come right out and said that. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I always watch what this guy did, and I'd always keeping my eye on him because he was brilliant." Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Who is the founder of Costco, right?
at the
So
end of the day, these are just, like, sharing good commerce
yes,
ideas, right? They're nothing new under the sun here.
yeah, but
There's a reason that every ancient city has a bazaar, a marketplace where they all gather, right? You make it convenient for consumers by even though you're 10,000 little competitors, you're all in one place.
yeah. What I really liked about this again, about this story was Lowe saw a trend going on in the United States, and the trend was people are building these homes, and so
Mhm.
there's gonna be more demand for home improvement stuff. How do I make it easier? Again, that theme of how
Yeah,
do I make it easier for the consumer? Wouldn't it be so much easier for the consumer if it was this one stop? Now the
right.
other thing I thought that was brilliant is that when the profit stalled out, he didn't flip to, "I need more leads, I need more customers." He didn't go there. He went, "Oh, if this is stalled out, there's something I'm doing wrong inside my 4
Yeah,
walls." And he
yeah,
looked at the experience, and he said, "Okay, I've already got customers. What I need to do is if I make that experience better, the customers will return more often and will spend more."
yeah.
I remember going to a presentation, um, from the folks from Barnes& and Noble, and Barnes& and Noble talking about how they and IKEA's the same. They would measure how long somebody was in the store. IKEA is amazing at this, and what they know is the longer you're in the store, the more you spend, period. So what's their whole objective is, "I'm gonna keep you in the store." How do I do that? I'm gonna put a restaurant in, I'm gonna put in a place where you can stick your kids to play, I'm gonna make it so that you've gotta walk the maze. The point is, the longer you're there, the more you're gonna buy. And not only that, IKEA's figured out if I display these things this way, people will stop and look at it so that
Yeah, you
they do move through the store slower, but Lowe's really caught
and
into
there's
the
sort of a logical progression to it.
right,
Yeah.
right. So Lowe's created that idea of let's do this one-stop shop, and then the next one was, okay, now that we've made this idea more convenient, let's now make this idea more enjoyable and also more convenient because there's all these ancillary things that you need when you're doing that in the moment. Let's
Well,
put all that
and
stuff together.
you bring designers in because if you're coming in for all these kitchen products,
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe you don't know how to put that all together and make it look good,
Yeah,
right? So here's
yeah,
somebody that can help you lay it out, and then they can sell
yes.
you all the materials that either you or your contractor need to make it happen.
Now, what we know is David Young is going to leave this talk with an even more love hate relationship of Lowe's. Am I right?
I'm not remodeling anything. I no, I love walking around a Lowe's. I find it hard to go like, if I need some adhesive, I need some Gorilla Glue or something, and I walk into a Lowe's, 2 things are gonna happen. Unless I'm in just a blazing hurry and I've left someone in the car with the car running,
Yeah,
um, I'm going to just wander around,
yeah,
and I'm likely to walk out with something else besides the glue,
correct.
along with the glue.
Yes.
Sometimes without the glue because I
Oh
forgot
God,
why I
yeah.
went in. But that's a whole different psychological, thing. We just finished talking about that at our my portals class this week. I
Oh
have to
yeah,
tell you
no,
about that sometime. That was
it,
fun.
it's a thing. It's a
We had a
thing.
blast. Yeah. Wow, Lowe's.
Yeah, there you go.
Now I'm thinking in my head, what do I need? You know, um, near Wizard Academy, like, we're not really close to a Lowe's. You gotta drive 20 minutes or so to get to a Lowe's.
Yep,
But about 10 minutes, 15 minutes away is a independently owned Ace Hardware store.
yep,
And I love that one too, right? Because if you're really just looking for a tool or some little hardware bits and bobs, um, you'll always find it there,
yeah, well, because Ace
right?
is
But
the
you
place
won't.
with the helpful hardware man, right?
Yeah, and they're helpful because they're locally owned. So there's always somebody in there that can, this is not the glue you really want. You
Right,
want this.
right,
Oh, I thought I just wanted Gorilla Glue. But
right.
but this guy knows. So it's 2 different
Yeah,
experiences,
yep,
and, a lot of your choice in it is based on experience. I
yes,
mean, shoot, when we lived in Western Nebraska, we like and they eventually got a Lowe's, but they had a Home Depot first in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We were 100 miles from there,
right,
and there was a lumber yard in Sydney, and there was a hardware store in Sydney, and we would drive to Home Depot
yes,
100 miles away
yes,
because, 1, we could find any of it there,
yeah.
and 2, Cheyenne also had a Starbucks and a Baskin Robbins and a right?
That's the other thing that starts to end up happening is you get
Yeah.
one of these, and then the other things sprout up
Yeah, you
around
you
that.
you rarely see one off by itself somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why, you would see a movie theater and then the restaurants go
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these things happen. But yeah, but I was pretty impressed when I heard the history of Lowe and also thought it was really interesting looking at this department store and bringing it across. And again, it's that
Yeah.
idea. Who outside of my world is doing this really well?
I kinda wasn't surprised that their origin goes back as far as it did, but because I think you always are gonna assume that that started as a little hardware store somewhere or a lumber yard.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that they started that growth curve as soon as they did,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
they were really the pioneers in that, so
Yep. And the key is you didn't need more than 10,000 square feet, as you pointed out.
yeah, well, you do today.
Like some of them are like, holy
Like,
crap.
you need
Yeah.
10,000 square feet in the kitchen, uh,
No
remod
kidding.
part, so
No kidding.
alright, well, thank you for bringing that story, Stephen.
All right.
I like that. Uh,
All right. Thanks, David.
congrats,
Well,
Lowe's, on, decades and decades of, money making as an
yeah.
empire.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Please share us, subscribe on your favorite podcast app, and leave us a big, fat, juicy 5-star rating and review at Apple Podcasts. And if you'd like to schedule your own 90-minute empire building session, you can do it at empirebuildingprogram.com.